Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with the pregame report between the Edmonton Oilers and the Chicago Blackhawks. The Oilers, they're coming off of I don't want to call it a sketchy win against St. Louis, but one of those games where they absolutely could have lost the game. They had to tie it late with the net pulled, and then they won in overtime. It was a Connor Brown overtime winner, which was very surprising. You love to see it if you're a big Connor Brown fan like I am. I do have to address something before I get into the full pregame report, though. See that victory chain behind me? The one that's hanging up on that jersey right behind me there? Yeah, guess which moron forgot to put it on for the post-game fan reaction after the win. Now, there's a couple reasons why this happened, and I'm not going to make excuses. Number one, the team had lost 2 in a row. I got used to the team losing, so I just got used to not wearing it in my post-game fan reactions. Number two, my brain is just dumb, and I forget things all the time. The Oilers had just finished the game, and I was so excited to just hit record for my video that I wasn't even thinking. So, if I go live tonight, which I haven't decided if I am, but if I do a live stream tonight, I owe you, the community, 10 gifted memberships. Now, if I do not go live tonight, if you don't see a live stream set up for tonight, then I will be for sure 100% live streaming against the Colorado Avalanche on Friday. So you can expect those gifted memberships for Friday's stream. I may stream both nights too. I have not decided yet. So keep an eye out for any announcements on my socials. Even here, I may have a pinned comment just letting people know whether I'm going to live stream or not. But I do apologize to everyone for not wearing that victory chain. I was immediately called out for it from the post-game fan reaction. I will leave a link to the post-game fan reaction if you have not checked it out yet. And it's very embarrassing because I pride myself on that victory chain. The community prides itself on that victory chain. That's something that we started doing last season after every single win. And I'm not sure how many times I've forgotten it this year. Someone will have to make a tally, but I'm pretty sure it's about 4 or 5 times now. So all the gifted memberships that I give out during live streams, it's just because I'm a silly little guy and my brain doesn't work sometimes. Anyways, we do have a game to talk about. The Oilers do play Chicago tonight. Puck drop's going to be a little bit later, 7:50 p.m. Mountain-ish. Now, I know on the NHL website it says 7:30 p.m. Mountain is the start of the game. They're wrong. On Sportsnet last night during the Blues game, they did say that the puck drop is going to be later. It's going to be around 7:50 p.m. And then they were making jokes about Louis DeBrusk needing coffee to stay awake. I actually don't know what Jack and Louis talk about half the time during an Oilers broadcast. I love them both. I think they're both very wholesome, and I think we're lucky to have them. But sometimes they do yap about random things, and I'm just like, okay, can we actually talk about what's happening on the ice in front of us? And speaking of talking about what's happening on the ice, let's talk about the lineups and, of course, the stats and predictions. So please leave your player to watch and your score prediction in the comment section below. I love reading all the comments. I love seeing all the game day predictions. It is so much fun. Yesterday, my player to watch was Connor Brown, and he ended up scoring the overtime winner against the Blues. Not that I could ever predict Connor Brown getting a shift in 3-on-3 overtime, but I am not complaining. And if you end up enjoying this pregame report, as always, smash the like button, hit subscribe if you're not yet subscribed to the channel as we continue to climb towards 5,000 subscribers. Let's get into the lineups. Now, these are not official lineups. This is just all the forwards, all of the defensemen, and the starting goalie. We know for sure Calvin Pickard is going to get the start, but the lines weren't what we were expecting against St. Louis. Noah Philp drew into the lineup. Adam Henrique drew out of the lineup. And then, of course, Klingberg was in and Stetcher was out. So I'm just going to leave this up here and we can kind of discuss who was playing with who. The first line was Draisaitl with McDavid and Perry against the St. Louis Blues, and I thought they had a very effective game. Corey Perry on his own could have had 2, 3, or 4 goals in that first period. I thought he played really good. Is this a full-time solution? Is this something that I want to see every single night? Absolutely not. And I think most of you agree as well. Draisaitl and McDavid, this lineup is much more effective when you have your 2 big centers separated on their own line. I would like to see them separated tonight. And for once, I would like to see the team get a lead and play comfortably with a lead. The Oilers are one of these teams right now where they just get behind and they have to fight back to either tie the game or get it to overtime or win it late. I want to see this team get a lead. I want to see them get a big lead. I want to see them hold on to it and have a nice, comfortable win and a nice, fun, comfortable post-game fan reaction where I'm not sweating for half the game and my heart rate's not hitting 160 beats per minute. Second line, we have Victor Arvidsson with Nugent Hopkins and Zach Hyman. I thought that line was okay against the Blues. I think Arvidsson, I don't know, he's just a little... I don't know if it's just an awkward thing, if it's just timing for him. He was falling all over the ice against the Blues. I don't know if it was just me. that was noticing that, but it seemed like every time he stepped onto the ice and in the middle of a shift, he's just suddenly down on the ice somewhere. He's either falling, being knocked down, tripping on nothing. So Arvidsson, I'd like to see him just stay on his feet a little bit more. Zach Hyman, I'd like to see him produce as well. Same with Nugent Hopkins. I didn't think they had a bad game, but that's a line that I'd like to see generate a bit more offensively. Jeff Skinner, Adam Henrique, and Kasperi Kapanen. I don't think that is going to be a set third line. Adam Henrique, I do expect to draw back into the lineup. I don't think Noah Philp showed quite enough to stay in the lineup personally. I don't dislike his game, but they're not playing him a lot, and they're not playing him enough to have an impact on the ice. I think he's using his size well. There was a few chances against St. Louis or a few shifts against St. Louis, I should say, where he's using his size and his speed, because I think he's pretty underrated in terms of his skating, where he's able to really put pressure and close gaps on players, but then he doesn't really do anything once he gets the puck. So for Noah Philp, again, he's adjusting at the NHL level. I don't know how much longer he's going to remain up with the big club. Obviously, during the Four Nations, they will send him down to the minors so that he can keep playing down there. At fourth line, Podkolzin with Janmark and Brown. I thought Podkolzin had a pretty slow, weak game for his standards. I thought he was bobbling pucks a lot. There was a couple chances he could have sprung Connor Brown for breakaway on one opportunity, and there was another chance where he was trying to center it to Connor Brown, who was wide open in front of the net, and Podkolzin's passing was just really off against the Blues. So we'd like to see that cleaned up a little bit if that line ends up playing together. I thought Janmark had a good game. I thought Janmark looked pretty good. He was pretty fast. There was a couple shifts where Janmark is just flying up the middle of the ice with the puck, and I'm like, oh wow, look at Connor go. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, that's Matthias Janmark. I know Janmark did that against the Colorado Avalanche earlier this season, where I thought it was McDavid skating with the puck, and it ended up being Matthias Janmark. And at the time, I can't remember when that was, back in December, Janmark had the fastest speed burst of all players in the NHL, but I think someone else has beaten him since then. On defense, you'll have Ekholm with Bouchard, of course. Nurse with maybe Klingberg or Stetcher, not sure yet. Kulak with Emberson, and then, of course, the extra D-man is either Stetcher or Klingberg. Evan Bouchard. I want to talk about Bouchard for a second before I get into the pregame stats and predictions. Evan Bouchard, there's a lot of scrutiny around him lately with the mainstream media. Not sure why. Not sure why he's the whipping boy, because he does have 6 points in his last 5 games. He made a great dangle in overtime to get the puck to McDavid before McDavid made Dylan Allway and Philip Broberg look absolutely ridiculous on the ice before finding Connor Brown for the game winner. But Evan Bouchard offensively has been playing very well. Defensively, I think has been great. And I'm not sure why he is being targeted specifically by mainstream media in Edmonton. Not sure what's going on there. I don't really agree with it. I know Bouchard has his warts sometimes, but his play over the last couple of weeks has not bothered me one bit. So I am on the full Bouchard defender train right now. I think he's playing just fine, right? And if you're a mainstream media member, if you happen to be watching these videos, I think we're being a little too harsh on him. You know, a lot of the media guys were really upset that the fans were very hard on Darnell Nurse during the playoffs when him and Ceci kept getting played. I'm one of those people, very hard on Nurse when him and Ceci were being played together. This is my opportunity to be like, hey, let's leave Bouchard alone. I think what he's doing offensively more than makes up for anything that's happening defensively, which he hasn't been bad defensively at all, in my personal opinion. That's just me, though. All right, let's get into the game day stats here. The Chicago Blackhawks, they are 16, 31, and 5 on the year. They are having an absolutely dreadful season, but this is a planned dreadful season. Maybe not for Connor Bedard and for a few players. Obviously, you want to win hockey games. And Connor Bedard, he's not having the offensive season that he wants to have, but the Chicago Blackhawks organization, they are fully immersed in a massive rebuild right now, and they're on track to get another high draft pick, maybe even win the draft lottery this year, and there's no excuse for Edmonton to lose this game. Yes, Chicago did beat Vegas recently. However, the Oilers, you're a cup contender. You lost 5-2 to Chicago back in October. Enough of that. You can't afford to lose games like this. You're first in the Pacific. You're 2 up on Vegas. You have an opportunity to go 4 points up on Vegas with the same amount of games played. Take advantage of this. You have to take advantage. Take this by the horns and just run with it, right? This is a big opportunity for Edmonton to show why they are a cup contender this season and just pound Chicago. No offense to the Blackhawks, but just absolutely pound them. Chicago in their last 10, 2-5-3. Their expected goals for in all situations, according to Natural Stat Trick, they rank 31st in the NHL, 42.24%, just abysmal. Their power play, though, pretty good, 23.2%, which ranks 11th, and their penalty kill, also very good, ranks 10th in the league, 81.6%. So for the Chicago Blackhawks, they have really decent special teams, but everything else is really bad. Their 5-on-5 and shot metrics are just putrid. They only score 2.58 goals per game, which ranks 31st. They give up 3.42 goals against per game, which ranks 30th. Their Corsi for ranks dead last, 44.14%, and their shots for percentage also ranks dead last in the league at 44.36%. Looking over on the Oilers side, they're actually 33-16-4 now. I did not update that, so let me just quickly update that. 33-16-4. There we go. They are 6-3-1 in their last 10. Their expected goals for ranks first in the NHL in all situations, 55.83%. Power play ranks 7th, 24.2%. Their penalty kill, it's not looking great. I think they've given up a power play goal in 3 straight kills, so their penalty kill has to get going. If they take a couple penalties here against Chicago, Chicago has personnel that they can make you pay. Connor Bedard factor, of course. Edmonton's got to get that penalty kill sorted out. They score 3.28 goals per game, which ranks 4th in the league. They give up 2.7 goals per game, which ranks 7th. Corsi for ranks 3rd at 54.36%, and their shots for percentage ranks 2nd in the NHL, 55.12%. Now, my players to watch, of course, Connor Bedard for Chicago. No offense and no disrespect to anyone else on Chicago, but Connor Bedard is the player to watch usually when it comes to this team. And for the Edmonton Oilers, it's Leon Draisaitl. He's only 1 point behind Nathan MacKinnon for first in the entire NHL. And he wants to also continue to keep that goal lead as well. So for Leon Draisaitl, he has 37 goals on the season. That does rank first. However, guys like Nylander scored a couple against Calgary. It was either 2 or 3. Maybe it was a hat trick against Calgary. But Nylander, hot on Draisaitl's tail. I want Draisaitl to win this Rocket Richard. I'm a selfish fan. I know it's not about the individual awards. I want Draisaitl to win all the awards, though. So he's my player to watch. And my score prediction tonight is going to be 5-3 Oilers. I'm going to predict an Oilers win. Last night, I predicted an Oilers loss. I looked like a fool like usual. Tonight, I'm confident. I feel confident. This team, I know it's the second half of a back-to-back, going to Chicago and show them who's boss. That is it from me for this pregame report. If you end up enjoying it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you really liked it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Keep an eye out for updates on the potential live stream tonight. Again, I can't guarantee that I will go live, but if I do, you will be able to catch me here. Best way to catch me when I am live, of course, is to subscribe and hit the little bell notification so that you are always notified when I upload or go live here on YouTube. And as always, make sure to tell someone that you love them before the game tonight and fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers.